Welcome, everyone, to Tuesdays with Tim. Tim, thanks for having us in your living room.
You're very welcome.
You keep it so nice and clean, Tim.
Yeah.
It's always so comfortable to come on in.
Where I am all day. It's dirty as shit, and where I am, oh, that's just my living room. Oops, I did the wrong thing. But anyhow.
Hi, Jules. We've missed you. Well, hi to all of you. Look at that.
Hi, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Trevor.
Trevor.
We got Kinder Kim.
Peter.
Wow, that's awesome. I love our crowd.
We got a great crowd.
I should get a mirror and say, and Trevor's in. I should get a mirror and say, I see Trevor and Jules and Peter and Kinder. You know, on Romper Room. Do you remember that show?
Yeah. Miss Marianne.
I sure do. Boy, do I remember that.
I waited and waited for her to call my name. And she never saw me in her magic mirror.
Well, and it was local probably, or national. Each one had a different woman for that.
I think so.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, well, some of them were local, some were national. Yeah, because I know in LA when it came out, I remember
she was kind of like God watching over us.
She could see us.
Yeah, right?
She was God, yeah. She was watching out for us kiddies.
There was one time she said my name, and she said, go check your sock drawer. And there was some paper in my sock drawer that was like scratch paper for my dad's business. So they never told me if they said that, they went to the effort, or if my dad just happened to come home, luck of the draw, and threw some shit in my sock drawer.
Did she say that on Romper Room? Go look in your scrap drawer because you're going to find some shit.
Yeah, something like that. It was meaningful to me at the time.
Yeah.
Mr. Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Green Slaves.
Green Jeans
and Engineer Bill and
Mr. the was it the clock? The grandfather clock. Grandfather.
Yeah.
And the ping pong balls dropping from the ceiling. I always wondered how they did that as a kid.
When you get three sexagenarians in a room or on a screen, they always have to talk about the good old days. So part of tonight's show is the good old days. It's the good old days of Brigham Young. It's ever since the beginning, Mormonism has meant business. And we're going to show some of the business dealings. Now, before we show the Brigham Young dealings, Tim, can you rattle off anything from Joseph Smith's era that you remember he had his hands in for doing business?
Well, the Kirtland Safety Society.
So the anti-bank,
and then in Nauvoo, he had the Nauvoo House. He owned.
Right. Did he sell liquor at the Nauvoo House, Tim? You were there.
Oh, there was a great bar there, man. They had everything. They had the best whiskey, I gotta tell you, and the best wine and champagne.
Did you order one finger or two when you had
shots?
All right, showing my childhood photos because people don't believe my lips are real.
Who's that?
So that was I don't know where that came from.
I don't know who that was. I don't know.
Might have been Miss Marianne.
It could have been. She's probably got a mirror in her hand.
Or it could have been Diamond Dave closing some windows.
No.
Wasn't you from your side?
No.
And
one of Tim's cats became verbal.
No. Well, that would be fun. And he owned a steamboat, the Maid of Iowa.
Steamboat, the Maid of Iowa.
Yeah.
So he rode the Maid of Iowa? Is that what you're saying?
Probably.
Is this before he opened his university in Utah?
So we're talking about Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith, not Brigham.
Joseph. I thought you said Brigham.
We're talking Joseph Smith setting the stage. So here's what I remember. I believe, Tim, you might recall this as well, that the Egyptian papyri was pasted on the back of a plat map of Kirtland, Ohio.
That's right.
And so they drew, every time they went to a new location, they were sure to get assayers, or not geologists, what are they called, where they map
surveyors.
And they would survey the land, and Joseph would either buy or have donated to the church an amount of land, and he would mark it all off. I don't know, 1,000 by 1,000 lots or whatever feet, and like 1 acre or whatever, and
hectares.
he would portion them out, right? He would sell them. In Nauvoo, he gave some as gifts to people who secretly married him.
Yes.
And he gave them as gifts to people that didn't marry him. So there's 2 times that he gave away some of these things, and they were valued at like $1,000 a lot often. And so it's kind of like a land deal. Every Mormonism was like a land deal. They were John Turner on John DeLynne's Mormon Stories talked about how
institutional control. Now
so who did that?
That might be on Megan's end, maybe.
So Megan's muted. So it's either Randy or Tim.
It's not me.
Not me.
Randy wouldn't know because his headphones are on.
That's true. That's very true.
I think it was Amanda rehearsing for a show.
Could be.
Okay.
And so anyhow,
and he charged money to view the mummies. You had to pay like a dime to see the mummies.
Right. So there was money exchange to see the mummies and the scrolls and things. And there was what was I going to say that John Turner said about Joseph Smith and the land? I can't remember. But anyway, Joseph Smith paid like $2,000 or $1,500 for $150,000 worth of capital towards the Kirtland Safety Society. And it's like penny stocks where you buy stuff and it has an inflated value or whatever. But anyhow, so we thought we would share, moving on to Utah, Brigham Young in true Mormonism fashion. He started some things. So some businesses. Tim, why don't you read a few of these?
In 1847, the Church Agricultural Cooperative, farming and ranching. So the first thing they do, they get to the valley, and what does he do? Plant some crops. And the church is in charge of that. And then in 1849, he had Deseret Manufacturing Company, industrial goods, sugar, pottery, and paper. And then 1850, the Deseret News is founded. And they have a newspaper. And also Deseret Currency Association, local banking script. So they had their own money. And then in 1851, they go down to southern Utah and go to Ironton, the Deseret Iron Company. I've been there, the remains of what was there. That's one of the few places I ran into a really big rattlesnake crossing my path when I was walking down there. And they also had a foundry and machine works, metal and machinery, to build things. And then in 52, you had Deseret Telegraph Company Communications. Got to set up a telegraph, got to communicate with the East and the West. Remember, 1849, the gold rush is happening. So you want to talk to California, to those guys at Sutter's Mill. If people don't know it, Mormons are the ones who discovered gold at Sutter's Mill. It was a group that Brigham Young sent there to mine and pan for gold. Then in 1853, the Public Works
That's right.
Department.
After the Mormon battalions, some of the Mormons went up to explore California, and that's when the guy with the last name Bigler, who's related to a friend of mine, was there, and he recorded in his journal the discovery of gold. And for like 20 or 30 years, they didn't know exactly the date until somebody said, "Hey, that Mormon guy kept a journal." And they talked to him, and he presented at Bancroft Library at Berkeley, and they paid his way. And because he wrote in his diary contemporaneously the discovery of gold, they could assign an exact date to it. And so, but also while Brigham Young's doing all these, he's also making money other ways too, right? He's governor. Does that make money? He's Indian agent.
Governor. Yep.
And that's a federal job.
The irony.
He's probably one of the few Indian agents, though, that was decent to the Native Americans that he didn't kill, because the Quakers were in charge of the other reservations, and they were not very nice to the Indians. They gave them rotten beef and kept the good stuff for themselves. But Brigham Young may have been, I don't know for sure, but he may have been much better than the Quakers, but I don't know about that.
No. Brigham Young definitely perpetuated the murders of many, many indigenous people.
Yes, but we're talking about taking care of their wants and needs when they need agency beef and agency food and stuff.
You can't just do everything bad, Megan. You have to show people while the cameras are flashing that you're doing the right thing.
Well, it's like when they go in to an area after there's a flood or something, and they pass out the yellow shirts that they church on them, and they stay for 2 or 3 days. And then once the cameras are gone and there's more work to do, they leave.
Yeah, Brigham Young perpetrated the deaths of more indigenous people, I would argue, than many other of his contemporaries who were in power at the time.
That's probably true. It's probably true.
And
but the Black Hawk War and then
the railroad went through Utah. The Golden Spike was the connection between the east and the west.
Is that 1857?
Or 1864? I can't remember.
Can't remember. Somebody down in the chat know?
That's right.
The Golden Spike? Is that what we're asking? What year that was?
Yeah.
I think it was closer to 57, but I don't know if that's true.
1869 at Promontory Point.
Oh, 1869. Okay, so it was much later.
I think during the Civil War that hampered a lot of the industry.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So as we can see, is there anything that sticks out to you, Megan, on this list?
I mean, what sticks out to me the most, honestly, is just that Brigham Young took power of the, Joseph Smith movement. It was absolutely manufactured that he was going to take over the church. I honestly believe that he had plants in the audience, when Sidney Rigdon was giving his speech and then he got up and gave his speech. I think he had plants in the audience that were like, "Oh my gosh, he looks just like Joseph Smith."
Or at least saying, "Go Brigham."
He's taken on the appearance of the prophet.
Those stories didn't come around till much, much later.
They were much later. There were no contemporary accounts.
What's it called when somebody sits in the audience and he laughs at the comedian's jokes?
It's called a plant. That's what I'm saying. There were plants.
Or a shill, a plant.
Yeah, or a shill. Right, exactly. So, Brigham Young took power surreptitiously, in my opinion, allegedly. And then he decided, look, the only way that we're ever going to be able to live the way that we want to and practice what we want to practice is if we leave the country. Let's go to Mexico Nobody's going to bother us there. And then when they got there, he said, "Oh, look, we're going to need a sugar mill. We're going to need a wood mill. We're going to need a masonry. We're going to need, all of these different businesses to support the industry and society." And he was the one who founded all of them and gathered all of these people together and said, "Yeah, well, let's start a bakery. Let's start a soda shop. Let's start,
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what Brigham Young did. And if you look at all of these companies over here, he brought all of these people to the Utah territory under the guise that this is the only place where we can truly practice our religion, knowing full well that basically what he was saying is that what we're doing is illegal. We have to leave the country in order to do it. And so let's do that. Let's leave the country. Let's not give a crap about whoever's already occupying the land. Let's just kill those people. And then let's build a bunch of businesses to enrich himself. And because he had the ultimate power and authority in the church, everybody just went along with it. They were like, "Oh yeah, like I'm going to help Brother Brigham start an iron company. Oh, I'm going to help Brother Brigham start a sawmill." And then they did all the work and he collected a percentage of the profit. He was the ultimate multi-level marketer. He was the first one and he was the best one.
The grandfather of them all, both literally and figuratively.
Yep. Let's go shopping.
Yeah.
Gee, who said that? We had two people in my lifetime have said that. One was a president after 9/11, and the other one was another president, Monson. So
Yep.
Bush and Monson both said the same thing. Let's go shopping.
That's right. So not all the businesses were like in Brigham Young's name. Some of them were like in the church's name or some other group of close friends and stuff like that.
Right, but that he profited from every single one of them. Like he got a percentage, he got let me protect your business and make sure that nobody else starts. Oh, you're going to start an iron company? I'll make sure nobody else starts an iron company. You'll be the only one. Just pay me a little bit of your grift.
For the blessings, right?
For the blessings,
blessings.
Exactly. Oh, yes. pay me a little bit of your grift and you'll get the second anointing.
Yeah, priesthood Ola.
Yeah, those aren't cheap. So, yeah, I can see why.
So brethren, we have to restock. Extra. We have to restock the oil containers after we bless everything. So anyhow, there are things that are still happening that way. Megan, you have a friend who knows that people purchase land in an area, donate some of it for a temple, and then make all the rest housing lots.
Wait, I do?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of scams are so prevalent in Mormonism. Everything down from the contractors who build the temples and the church buildings, who give the church a discount in exchange for a favor. They're these kind of things. This is what has come to be, it's been known as the Mormon Mafia. Mormons want to do business with other Mormons, and especially the Mormon Church wants to do business with Mormons who will give them a better rate than other companies, and Mormons who will, basically do whatever's required to get the contract, because they want that recognition, and they also want whatever perks come with it.
I also know that Brigham Young was known as either the richest man west of the Mississippi or something like that. That's one of the years, but I don't remember when. And I don't know who figured it out, because Forbes wasn't around, I don't think, back then.
No, but I think that we don't give enough credence to this idea that Brigham Young really did have more money than almost anybody at that time. You know, you have to say west of the Mississippi, because before there was income tax, there were all of the, you know, the steel magnates and the oil and gas magnates and whatever, who were making a crap ton of money.
That's much later. That's after Brigham Young.
Right. But that was going to be my point, is that, you know, when you think about people like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all of those people, they came much later. Brigham Young was earlier. He was involved in establishing a civilization. And when you do that, and you've got your finger in every single pie of every single business, every single company that gets built around the establishment of that civilization, naturally you're going to be the wealthiest person. Everybody was giving him percentages and kickbacks, because he was saying, you know, hey, we need this business in this community. You go establish it. I'll help you out. I'll make sure that you make plenty of money. You just give me a little bit on the side.
Yeah.
You can even say God wants you to do that.
Let's not forget, Trevor Larsen, that he wanted to bring Utah in as a slave state.
Yep. As a slave state.
And he was a slave owner, right?
Sorry?
Wasn't Brigham a slave owner?
No, not Brigham Young. Somebody else was, though. There were others who were slave owners.
I think a slave was donated to the church, and Brigham Young used him for a little while and then gave him his freedom.
Something like that.
No, he wanted to bring Utah in as a slave territory, because we all know that, like, if you want to make more money in your business, then you use slave labor. That's the way to actually make an incredible profit, is to have slaves, and then you don't have to pay.
You mean like all the members of the church who donate their time to clean the bathrooms and
that's kind of what that's like.
Jobs in the church. That's pretty much.
So there's still human trafficking today.
Yes,
there is. The
it's labor trafficking, which is the most common form of trafficking, above slave trafficking or sex trafficking. Labor trafficking is the most common form, and it is still done rampantly in the church today, but they don't realize it.
It's global too.
Yep.
It's God's church. Come on, they got to do what God tells them to do. If the bishop wants it, I'll do it.
Is it God's church?
No.
Or is it actually, this is maybe another topic for Tuesdays with Tim, but like, is it the church of God or is it the church of Satan? Because we're literally following Satan's plan right now. Satan told Adam and Eve to cover themselves in the Garden of Eden, and they did it. So are we following Satan? I think we are.
Well, if we look in the pearl of great price at the battle in heaven, yes, the church is definitely following Satan's plan.
Well, Satan's a good guy.
Well,
Satan wanted to save everyone. The good guy wants to save everyone.
Trevor. Exactly. Yeah. If you think about it, Trevor, the good guy was like, look, don't put them through this ridiculous moral test. He's like, just make them all like remember that you're God and want to be with you. And then nobody has to suffer. And God was like, no, I think I want some suffering. I really think I'd prefer it if people suffer.
Trevor, I don't think that Satan is a good guy, because from what I understand, he smokes cigarettes and drinks coffee.
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't think Satan does smoke cigarettes. I mean, he might smell like fire and brimstone, but that's just a consequence of where he lives, not really a lifestyle choice.
I was on YouTube, watching YouTube, and someone made a good point of how, Satan's like the ultimate deceiver and wants to like destroy God's plan. But if he wanted to do that, wouldn't he just not do anything, not participate, not tempt anyone? And that would destroy the whole plan. If he was the smartest guy, that's what he would do if he was the ultimate deceiver and wanted to destroy the plans. He'd just be like, I'm not tempting anyone, I quit, like I'm done with this. Screw you.
Yeah, I'm not going to participate.
Yeah, that would just destroy the whole plan.
Smartest person in the universe, and he can't figure that out.
Yeah, that would destroy the whole planet.
Right behind Tim?
Satan?
Behind me?
God.
No, he's the third smartest in the universe, right behind Tim.
Yeah. Tim and who else though?
Me?
Oh, God.
Me?
Which
Yeah,
God's
God,
not in
Tim,
there.
and then Satan.
God's an idiot. God made me. He's an idiot.
No, your parents made you.
Well, he started it.
God was just a product of his time.
You know,
He was
guys,
just a product of eternity.
one of the things I think about all the time is the idea that, like, according to Mormonism, anybody who follows the rules, right, gets their own planet. And what I
Not
think,
anymore.
well, I mean, they don't
Depends who you
talk
ask.
about it anymore officially, but it's still there. The doctrine's still in there.
I know.
What I think about all the time are the relatives of mine who are just complete idiots, who followed the rules. They know the secret handshakes. They know all of the key words and whatever. What if the God of our universe is one of those idiots? Like, what if he's just the dumbest Mormon that ever Mormoned? And the best God, the real God, is like off on some other universe, and we just got stuck with the dumbest one. Like,
Just a slob like one of us.
technically, let's just say technically, before Chad Daybell organized his little cult or whatever, technically, before he met Lori, he was bound for the celestial kingdom. What if he became a god, and then, like, the god that we got stuck with was basically Chad Daybell?
He's scheduled for the celestial kingdom in just a couple of years, right? Isn't he?
Well, I mean, he keeps saying Jesus is coming before he gets out of prison or whatever, but that's all I'm saying. Like, we all know people in Mormonism who were not the brightest bulb on the tree, who were also not the kindest, most altruistic people, but they were temple worthy. They paid their tithing. They went to the temple and learned all the secret handshakes. So technically, they're going to become God someday, have their own planet. Like, what if the God of our universe is just one of those, like, regular old schmucks?
I kind of think that, going along those lines, I've been thinking this for a while. Like, I think that, like, the God of this universe, if that's true, Megan, is like some 18-year-old elder missionary who died on his mission, and now he's playing Sims because he's bored and just blowing everything up, because that's the most fun you can have in that game. It's like, yeah, I'm bored. I'm going to send 20 hurricanes now and watch everyone die.
He's a 5-year-old that died before he committed any sins. So
exactly, because, like, every person who died before the age of accountability, who died before the age of 8,
we got that one.
celestial kingdom, right? Those 12 to 15-year-old boys who walked all the people across the icy river, they all went to the celestial kingdom. Worlds without end, said Jeffrey R. Holland. So what if those dudes, the 15-year-old dudes, like, what do they care about more than anything in the world? I can't say on here because it's YouTube. But it starts with N and it ends in sturbation. What if those dudes are the ones who are the God of our universe? Like, come on, really? Like, we're all living...
starts with M.
Are you saying there's no job qualifications for being a god except getting baptized?
Except being baptized and learning the secret handshakes.
Well, but wait,
like,
the 15-year-olds wouldn't have known that.
Doesn't matter. They still get to be gods.
Unless their work was done for them.
This is Megan's hypothesis. That our God didn't have a lot of earthly experience.
Yeah, too slow.
Planetary experience.
Right.
Now, I've been struggling to think of what of my experience actually is training me to be a god while I was still attending. Is it taking the screaming children into the foyer? Is it passing the sacrament? Is it giving talks where half the people in the audience are falling asleep? Well, that's a good deed, I guess, if you're doing that.
Yeah.
It's cleaning the toilets on a Saturday morning at 8:30.
Cleaning the toilets.
Falling asleep is the most useful thing that could happen at church.
Yeah.
It actually helps you out.
And a lot of the higher, high council people do exactly that.
Yeah.
They not only fall asleep, but they also put people to sleep. So I feel like that cycle is the holy cycle.
Yeah.
Megan, speaking of the holy cycle, what is your take on Jesus Christ? Will he ever have a world of his own, or is he destined to be God's son forever? And what happens when this world is done? Does God graduate and he gets to become heavenly grandfather? And what happens to Jesus? Does he ever get his own world? Because he deserves it, right?
I think those are great questions. Like, number one, I think Jesus deserves his own world. However, what if his reward for his sacrifice in this life is to not get a world and not have to be responsible for any of that shit?
No headaches.
Jesus never even mentioned the plan of salvation one time. Like, he did a horrible job. He never talked about any of the important. No handshake. He didn't mention handshakes one time. He's totally incompetent.
Well, that we know of, Trevor. Maybe they didn't write it down because it was too sacred. We know that there were things in the Book of Mormon that didn't get written down because they were too sacred.
Okay, well, Diamond Dave has something to say.
The Mount of Transfiguration is where he got his endowment.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they say.
I don't know. I'm starting to think Jesus is just a Nepo baby. Where like he's inexperienced. He didn't talk about the plan of salvation. He's just waiting for his dad to die so he can inherit everything.
Yeah. So I was on the cross and he's like, Dad, what the hell?
He's like, wait. So Dad, all I have to do is go down and like say some stuff that you want me to say, and then I'm cool for the rest of eternity. He's like, yeah, of course. And then, like you're saying, Trevor, like he gets down there, he's like, what the hell? You didn't tell me they were going to nail my hands to a wooden cross. Like, what the hell?
It was the first time these words were uttered. I didn't say it was going to be easy.
I only said it'd be worth it.
Doesn't the scripture say that when he was on the cross, he hung his head and said, Father, what the hell's going on?
Anytime now, Dan.
Technically, he said, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah. It's an actual thing. Yeah.
I think what he said was like, Dad, what the hell? And then scriptorians kind of reframed it.
Yeah.
I will say to Peter's point, Jesus, assuming he existed, was not illiterate because he taught in temples, right? So I believe Jesus existed, but he's just one of many gurus running around, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
He's just a super young one.
Yeah, but I mean, he was taught, like he was teaching in a temple from the Torah, and in order to teach from the Torah, you have to be able to read the Torah.
Well, they said he was doing that as a kid.
He was just repeating what he heard the rabbis say.
I mean, you can do that to a point, but even young boys at that age were taught how to read.
Or he learned the primary songs, and that was good enough to.
No.
We all know the best way to indoctrinate someone is to teach them fun songs.
I still remember those.
Jesus was the original sunbeam. He ascended into heaven in the rays of sunlight.
I was just going to say something
to be a sunbeam.
A sunbeam. A sunbeam.
I do like. There was a guy named Joseph Atwill, and I actually like it. He's a big-time conspiracy theorist, and he's actually got a really good one where Jesus was a Roman psyop because wherever Jesus was, the Roman military was, And Jesus is telling people to pay their taxes to Caesar, to love your neighbor, to love your enemy, aka love the Roman Empire. And if he was going on translating the Greek and Aramaic, and he's like, when Jesus was over here, the Romans are doing this, and he's talking like this. But in this part, like, so he's in like Israel, but when he's in Judea, he's talking completely differently in a completely different context and, using different intonations. What if this is a different person? Because they didn't have internet back then. So his whole theory was the Romans paid Jews to, like, once they found out about Jesus, they paid Jews in different places to pretend to be Jesus. So that way everyone would accept the Roman occupation. Which,
every time Jesus
I
would
don't know
stray,
how plausible that is, but if that is, I can't even be mad at that. That's true. I would honestly be impressed.
every time Jesus would stray from the message, his handler would just say, "John the Baptist." What happened to him?
Beheaded.
Lost his head. He lost his head.
We need a saying
lose your
for
head.
the 12 apostles' deaths, just like we have a saying for the wives of Henry VIII.
Remind me of the wives
that?
saying.
Beheaded, beheaded, survived. Wait. Beheaded, beheaded, died. Beheaded, beheaded, survived.
That's 6.
Didn't they all die?
Yeah.
Beheading.
He had
killed
6
them, right?
wives.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beheaded, beheaded, died. Beheaded, beheaded, survived.
Yeah, one
He
of
had
them
6
died
wives.
one of them died from an illness. Like,
Right.
he didn't have killed. One of them
Okay.
just died from being alive.
Yeah.
That'd be impressive if they got beheaded but didn't die. Like that'd be
If
I
he
mean,
didn't give him a son, he killed him.
Exactly.
I didn't
fair.
realize he was LDS. I didn't realize he had 6
It's part of the
wives.
deal. They knew the rules. They knew the deal. Their body decided to get him killed.
He was pre-LDS. It was Joseph Smith read the newspaper. He knew what was going on.
Oh, yeah, he started his own religion.
If only God commanded him to have all those wives, it'd have been okay. With the flaming sword.
I mean,
and all that.
how do we know he didn't? How do we know that Henry VIII did not get revelation from God and have all of the same ceremonies? I actually, you guys, I got it wrong. I'm so sorry. It's divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. I forgot about the 2 divorces. That's my bad.
Not cool, Henry.
Sorry about
Divorce is a sin.
Yeah, but it's, I think, notable at least that two of his wives were beheaded.
So Diamond Dave talked about a psyop with Jesus, and also I'll say that Paul the Apostle is sort of like Brigham Young. He takes over the reins and sort of creates his own church after the founder dies.
There was never a church before.
I think that was part of Joseph Atwill's conspiracy theory too, was that so the Apostle Paul, as we all know from the Bible stories, he was Saul before, and he killed off a lot of Christians before he converted.
Yeah, he was a dick.
Well, yeah, but Joseph Atwill's theory on that was this was a guy who wanted power, so the Christians he killed were Christians in power, and then he claimed this massive conversion thing so he could take over.
Yeah. The Romans
would be a new name.
Right.
The Romans were the first ones to say, better call Saul. Here come the Christians.
But
it's all good, man.
But was that a thing? If you're a sinner, then you get a new name like in the temple? And how boring to go from Saul to Paul.
Not very creative.
Well, if you're one of the first Pauls, that's kind of cool.
Well, yeah, it's like my new name in the temple being Brandy. There would be nothing exciting for me about that because I'm already Randy.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, I get it.
Too close. I was like, what? They give you Brandy? Is that a middle name?
I can't imagine what that's like for the women, because I was on a different podcast like a few hours ago, and it's like, well, because so when it comes to like the polygamy doctrine that's still there, when the husband goes to heaven and he calls out to his wife by his new name, since the names are by the day of the week. If his wife's new name is Deborah, he goes up and calls out to Deborah. They'll be like, 100,000 Deborahs that all just come piling in.
Yeah, everybody
Obviously,
who
that's a
was
good thing.
endowed on that same day.
It's a winner. All the ones whose husband failed, he gets all those.
That'd be a good Mormon cartoon.
Yeah, that would just be wild. I can't imagine what that's like from like the lady's perspective, because that's like a whole new level of misogyny just right there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
Eternal
cool if
misogyny.
every woman, when she was sealed in the temple,
Now,
married, her name was Eve. She
how
would
did
get
we?
a new name, and it's
How
always
did we
Eve.
Well, Randy,
degenerate?
That'd be convenient.
How did we get off our topic to this?
Is there a topic?
I didn't do it this time.
you know, Tim, rattlesnake hockey punk monkey underpants. Like it just like goes.
To be fair, I was about to mention 9/11, so you could be lucky I didn't mention that.
But Randy, did you know that if you go to the temple and your name that day, that day's new name is the same as your original name? Like, let's say I went to the temple, my name is Sarah, and on the day that I go, the new name is Sarah.
No,
Did you know that your name
Christ?
is just Eve? It's
That's
just
right.
Eve.
Oh yeah.
Backup name. And
backup name?
Yeah.
So every biblical name.
If my
Okay,
real
then.
It's the same name.
if my real name was Nimrod and Nimrod was the temple name that day, I would be Adam.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yes.
you would.
Exactly.
Why don't they just say that
Exactly.
it's like divineness, that your name is your real name? You know, like it's magical.
Oh,
like,
it's
where
divine
is that?
manifestation. Like,
Yeah.
oh, my parents really were in tune with the spirit when
Yeah,
they
they're
named me
yes.
because they knew that was going to be my temple
Just go
name.
that way.
My parents were in
smarter.
tune with the spirit when they conceived me.
I don't even want to. Why
No.
would you even want to?
Pixar
Don't
didn't
want
happen,
that to
Jim. Picture
anyhow-
it didn't happen.
So if Tim wants to go back to Mormon means business, one thing I will say is that later on in Mormonism's history, there was a really, really rich guy, and he owned movie studios, and he had a spruce goose, and his number one guy was a Mormon.
Yeah. Bunch of
Yep.
guys.
Howard
Jim
Howard
Hughes.
Hughes.
Bennett's dad, right? Jim Bennett's dad?
There are a lot of prominent, wealthy people in the world, let's say, who want to employ Mormon people in their highest levels of their businesses because they believe that Mormons are honest. They believe that Mormons are, like clean
All the
family
rules.
people, and follow the rules basically.
They're nerds.
I wonder if they figured out that the ones who are second anointed can steal money from them. So that's like one of the questions that they have.
Yeah. But those are usually old
Consequences.
guys. They're usually old.
Yeah, they're seen as like predictable in the West.
Yeah, safe bet.
Specifically.
I should say, Jules, to your point, yes, the FBI, the CIA, they love to hire Mormons. But I will tell you, a very close family member of mine could not get a job with the CIA because they were a very faithful Mormon, and they could not fool the lie detector test.
Ah,
They were bad, very, very bad at lying.
They didn't take
they wanted them to lie. I see what you're saying. You're training them to lie.
Right.
They didn't take melatonin before a lie detector test.
Apparently.
This is so cool.
What does melatonin do?
Melatonin is something that it helps you sleep. So you take a half pill or a pill because
Olivia.
So because what it does is the lie detector test looks at your heart rate, it looks for muscle spasms, and it looks for like perspiration and things like that. But since melatonin puts you to sleep, it slows all that down.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't ask me
Olivia,
how I know that. Don't ask me how I know that.
Olivia, are you the one that the church assigns to watch our podcast?
She's SMCM,
and you're throwing that out there because
SCMC.
Right.
Acronyms.
Well,
very clever, Olivia.
Olivia, I want to tell you this, that you don't know anything about your church saying that, because what we're saying is actual history.
Yeah.
And we're not making it up. We're not lying to you like
Now-
the church bullshits you. Now, Olivia.
Well, no, I mean, well, look,
Go back
I
and
will
ask me.
say we've had a lot of speculation on different theories tonight that are not official church doctrine.
Yeah.
So let's be fair about that.
Okay.
Let's just be fair and transparent about that.
I'm the
However,
conspiracy theorist here.
However, I will also say that, you know, as a true believing member for my entire adult life until I was 45 years old, I was a regular temple attender. I taught gospel doctrine. I was in presidencies in young women's and primary. I learned so much more about the church when I decided to look at real historical source documents rather than what was fed to me by the church. So I didn't know half of what I didn't know about the church when I was in it. When I left it, I finally actually learned like the real history. So the sad thing is that when I was in the church, when I was studying and reading every day, I thought I knew so much about the church. The truth is I only knew 5% of the reality.
You to know.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've been a little bit extra snarky, and so yes, some of that stuff isn't there, but there's a lot more about the church that we don't even know that Tim might know. Tim read it 25 years ago and forgot about it by now. That would shiver your timbers, I'll say.
What we're saying about Brigham Young and the businesses, though, is fact.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The list.
Oh, yeah.
The list.
And Brigham Young did start slavery. Like, it was the same meeting where he said blacks can't have the priesthood, that he legalized slavery in the Utah Territory. It was the same meeting. So he legalized slavery in Utah.
Yes.
Kip and Olivia are partners. And every one of us are former LDS.
Kip, what historical facts are we skewing? Let me know right now. Print it, type it. Come on. Now.
There goes
now.
Tim. There
right
goes
now.
Tim.
Right now.
Get him, Tim. Get him.
Yeah.
This is at least how you know that Kip is not a bot. But yeah,
Just
okay. So
rewriting history.
Okay, which
we're not writing, so it's kind of hard.
Everything.
Oh, everything.
Pull up the slide.
Very specific.
Only the Sith deal in absolutes.
Just say Kip.
Wait, hold on. Megan is a Sith.
How does she know
Because
that?
I just said only.
On the tip of her tongue.
Does
time out. Which YouTube channel are they on? Because they're not on Letter Daily Digest. Where are they?
Oh, they might be on Nomo Momo. They got to be on
the Baby Devil.
Is that Megan? Because Megan, you're not streaming this, are you?
No, I'm not. It's just Randy and Jean.
Randy and Jean bring Megan down.
Okay, I gotta go. Okay, so I'm wondering because I don't see him in the chat. But Kip,
our honeymoon phase is over.
Come on, Kip. Let's see.
I mean, we don't have to cry. Mormonism and Christianity in general is just virtually non-existent here. Proselyting is illegal, and on top of that, here in Mongolia, Christianity may soon be illegal.
Oh yeah!
I'm hearing rumors, and I'm fully supportive of this.
Kip might have a hero named Tim Ballard. Megan, do you know anything about Tim Ballard's money-making plans?
Yes.
Or Lori Daybell, or Chad Daybell.
I've had some personal experience with a couple of those people. But I will say, Tim Ballard, I think is a grifter who used the name of a Mormon apostle to further his business practices, which are unethical and allegedly illegal, according to many, many, many court filings. And, used the name of the church to further his cause for a lot of years, which if we're being honest, you guys, he might be the most Mormon that there ever was.
Yeah.
Based on the foundings of the church and Joseph Smith's practices, Brigham Young's business practices, Tim Ballard might be the most Mormon who ever Mormoned.
Yeah, I can see that.
And he Mormoned a lot on his missions, as we realize and know.
You
Well, he's
mean
using the
couples
church's name
groups?
now. He's using
Okay.
the church's name now,
Couples
where he like
groups.
says
Kip
he's
and
anti.
Olivia, there's a link in the chat. Come on, and we will debate this right now. You scaredy
It can be a
cowards.
friendly discussion. People
Come on,
have a different
come on.
viewpoint about things.
Come on, Kip. Come on,
I have a
Olivia.
feeling
I
that won't
dare
happen.
you.
Tim's bark is
Chicken
worse than his
coward.
bite, but worse than his bite is his breath.
I will take you on for anything. Come on,
Tim,
right now.
you set
Chicken.
off to. I need a beer. I need a beer.
No, you don't. Come on. Come on.
There are things that members don't know, like Megan, about how many women did Joseph seal himself to before he sealed himself to his wife?
Ooh,
Before?
like 12 or
Well,
something?
okay, so I mean, we don't actually know exactly how many, but we know that there were many, many women who were sealed to Joseph before he actually was sealed to Emma. And I will just also say, on the church's own website at churchofjesuschrist.org, conservative estimates place the number of wives between 30 and 40.
There you go. So yeah,
That's right.
just
Thank you for
read
that.
all the gospel
Okay.
topics essays.
You're welcome.
All the things
Kip
that we
and,
have
Kip and
through.
Olivia, if you don't have the guts to come here and talk to us right now, then your opinion is worthless. I'm telling you right now.
Can
It's
I just
not
say,
worthless.
can I just say to Kip and Olivia, if you're a part of the SCMC, can you remove my name from the records? Because, like I
say
said,
all the
I'm in
time.
Australia. I don't want to have to travel back to the U.S. and get a document notarized. Can you just remove it for me? Thanks.
They're both
Yeah.
like, it's the
I'm trying that
SCMC.
too, Dave. Well, I think they're probably both
Strengthening
bots, in
Church
my
Members
opinion.
Committee.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
I
I'm
think-
saying
but they're saying
they
that.
probably have no idea of what the SCMC is.
I'm pretty sure if I saw this show 12 years ago, I would feel like Kip and Olivia.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
to say, I mean, there was a time when I was Mormon when I would have stumbled across a podcast such as this and thought the same thing. I would have said, "Oh my gosh, you guys just don't even know what you're talking about. How can you deny all of the spiritual feelings that you've had over the course of your life? One day every knee will bow and every tongue confess." I would have felt that way when I was a true believing Mormon. But the problem is that I didn't ever look at anybody else's opinion about the church except the church's opinion. And the problem with that is that when you can't look at sources that are negative, then it means necessarily you have a cognitive bias and you're not capable of examining the truth, because every organization has both good and bad. And if we can't look at the bad and challenge that organization to correct it or to do better, then we are in an echo chamber where we believe they can do no wrong. And that's a really, really harmful place to be.
Very harmful place to be. Okay,
I'm kind
so
of disappointed with that. I kind of wanted to see Tim go off, not going to lie.
Wait, didn't they go on Randy's channel then? So they clicked on the
They're on
Momo
Randy's
Nomo channel? It would
Yeah.
make sense
Yeah.
if they clicked on Latter Daily Digest. They clicked on Momo Nomo. And they're surprised
Thank
it's
you.
not
Well,
pro-Mormon. Yeah.
it was the thumbnail, Trevor. People don't really look.
Devil.
People don't look at the channel and they don't really look at the title. They mostly look at the thumbnail and decide what they're going to click on. So the thumbnail is talking about Brigham Young being a successful businessman, and Mormons are like, "Oh yeah, he was great.
Hell yeah, he's getting rich."
I mean, I don't think that's in dispute. By business definition, he was a good business.
It was excellent business.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
he decided
MLM
good city
is based off of him. My business structure is kind of based off of that. Like that's how businesses work, yo. Like, I mean,
yeah, he's gonna make money.
I think they disappeared. They're not willing to stand up for their beliefs.
They're checking the Journal of Discourses to come up with something to argue with you about.
No, they feel like they were sinning by listening. They feel like by listening to this rhetoric, in their opinion, that they're going against the word of the prophet.
I will say to Megan's point, I don't know. I might give just a little bit of friendly pushback here, because on like Mormon Stories podcast and Mormonish podcast, there's a lot of people that show up and be like, "Oh, cool, a Mormon channel," and then they like listen and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, no." So,
That makes more sense.
I do think that people look at the title, and it's probably someone who saw the Momo Nomo, which is like Exmo, and then saw that and jumped in.
Yeah, I'm suspicious.
And everybody should jump all over Randy's channel and like and subscribe.
Look at, I'm not mean. I have a cat in my lap.
Some would argue that makes you the devil, Tim.
Yeah.
Get your black cat. Get your black cat.
Right. Where's your hairless cat, Tim? Only the overlords have the hairless cat.
Yeah, Mr. Beaglesworth or whatever his name is.
Can you hear his purring? This is Jan, and he has such a nice purr. He's purring so sweetly here. You know, Sally was in earlier.
I can just tell by what you named him that you're the devil. Obviously,
yeah. I didn't name him. I didn't name him. Well, Jan and Dean, come on.
Yeah,
I love Jan and Dean.
Yeah. So, come on, Olivia, and come on. I guess they're gone.
That's not her.
Yeah.
My wife and I were invited to a party by some ward members back when we were TBM, and we showed up, and I said, you know, what kind of party are we at? Because they were serving alcohol. I said, he said, oh, it's an Exmo group, and they were just starting a movie about why Joseph Smith was a false prophet. And I said, I'm sorry, but we've got to go.
Wait, wow. I need to go get my pearls so I can clutch them.
Oh, I thought you were saying this was recent. I was like, what? Why'd you go?
No, this is back when we were active, and you know, I get it. I do understand.
Yeah.
I felt like I was wrong even being there.
Yeah.
But then I saw the light. You know, I realized after doing some true study, prayer, whatever, meditation, that I was in anything but the only and true church of God on the earth.
Yeah.
I have a slightly different experience, but in my opinion, equally as traumatizing. I moved to Provo in 2020 after joining the church, and you know, you get your bishop's phone number, the ward secretary's number, you get phone numbers, right? And my roommate at the time invited me to hang out with his friends to watch Johnny Lingo.
Oh, yeah. I watched that in church.
Johnny Lingo.
I saw Johnny Lingo, like the old one from like the 60s or 70s or whatever.
Yeah, 70s,
yeah. And I texted my bishop and I'm like, dude, I might have a mental breakdown. I just moved out here from Minnesota. I started a new job. My roommates dragged me to watch Johnny Lingo. I'm not having a good time, you know. And he's like, yeah, just make an appointment. And I'm like, dude, I really want to hurt myself. He's like, okay, I'm on my way. And he's laughing all the way through. Apparently, I am not the first person who joined the church, saw Johnny Lingo, and then just bypassed the protocols to make an appointment for him. He's just like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, you're not the only one.
It's really bizarre movie.
Yeah, so I've heard Diamond.
He's like, I get it. That movie was the worst.
Yeah, the lingo effect, we'll say.
The lingo.
Don't you think it's weird that the girl's name was Mohana, that he bought for 8 cows, and in the Disney production of
Moana.
What is it?
Moana.
Oh, it's Moana.
There's an actual reason for that, and because from what little I understand, having talked to a couple Polynesians, but Moana is a very, very common name.
Yeah, I knew Lady by War.
It's like Brittany,
New Zealand,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many Brittany's do we know? I could think of like 10 off the top of my head. Right?
Really
So Moana is a very common name.
That's why.
Yeah,
I
maybe
get
Or it's
they're
like
in
guys
Utah.
named John, you know, like everyone knows like 5 Johns.
Or Nephi,
Right.
just
So,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, try Googling Juan Martinez.
Okay. Or Trevor Larsen.
It's like John Smith.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay.
like my full name in England is like that.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica.
We have a fan?
Yeah, we have a fan.
We have one fan.
The
We
biggest
have-
is easy when there's one.
Yeah, we have one fan, and it's Jessica.
She's the biggest. It's the only one.
Gene's going viral.
All right. So our challengers are gone.
I'm shocked.
Tim, if you keep on scaring away future converts, future ex-Mormons, then
Yeah.
we'll never be able to teach them the truth.
I just
Thanks.
I
Thanks
just
to
want
you,
to
they're going to
get-
be
If
active.
there's views, you cuss.
I just want to engage with somebody. I'll be
Tim.
nice, I promise.
This show is the equivalent of a plate of cookies. Is what it should
Exactly.
be.
Various cookies, chocolate chip,
Serious.
raisin, macadamia.
A
The
rattlesnake
bad
hiding in the cookies.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not the raisin cookie. Don't assign me
Mine's
that role.
spiked with
Me
LSD.
either. I hate raisins.
Yeah,
Oh,
Randy,
they're my
do you wanna-
favorite.
do you
I
wanna
like 'em
share
raw.
Raisins? I like raisins. Why?
I like them
you
raw,
raisins?
but not in stuff. In stuff, they're horrible. Like in trail
Randy,
mix, they're
Wheel.
good.
Randy,
Yes,
do you want to share
Jesse.
something?
Like I told you, that's exactly how Jan is. He always cries and he wants to be picked up and held like a baby. But
Did
we
he
have
change
so
his
many
diaper?
cats. No.
See, when
Gene, we
our
had
cat does
talked
that,
about-
my wife picks the cat up, and when I do it, my wife says, "Go away."
Yeah. Kinder Kim just said you reminded her she needs more cookies, and it just occurred to me that we're going grocery shopping later, so we need to get more cookies. So I'm
I
adding
do
that to
too.
the-
What kind of cookies do they have in Mongolia? Are they similar to American cookies?
Yeah, there's a lot of there's like, I mean, we have Oreos and stuff. There's like,
Okay.
you know, American cookies, and then we have like cookies from China, Japan, and like it's all
Okay.
imported here. So
there a lot of
Good
American
almond
food then?
cookies.
there's
Like in the
some.
grocery store?
It,
Not a lot.
no, I mean, so there's like American brands, but they're made differently because of the laws here, and they're much cheaper.
You mean they don't have all the additives American food has in them?
Yeah, so like Lay's potato chips taste very different here and
Interesting.
much better. It's same with like Pepsi and Cola and things like that.
Huh.
Pepsi tastes way different here than it does in the US.
Because
Everything's
there's
better
no
with
corn syrup in it.
extra
I mean,
yak.
there is an
Yeah.
American shop here near my house, and there's like American shops, but the thing is to import things from America is extremely expensive.
Oh yeah.
And so mainly it's like expats that go and buy them. Like very few Mongolian people do, unless they want like a novelty or a treat or like something for like Lunar New Year as like a celebration to like give a gift, because it's not, you know, it's not common. But yeah, they're like American things like from America specifically.
They have like,
that are imported
they have
are
like
very
Donald Trump T-shirts and stuff. At
No.
the American store.
You know, actually, I saw a couple Donald Trump articles. Like Donald Trump is meeting with Syria in like the Mongolian news, the Syrian president. Like, I think it has like 2 reactions on Facebook, and one guy bashing Trump, and nobody else gives a shit.
That's hilarious.
Literally,
Diamond. Do they have Tim Tams in Mongolia?
I don't think so.
On the hot seat. No.
I mean that's in the UK. That's in the UK.
I don't know that is, honestly.
I haven't seen them here. There might be, but we don't. Like 80% of our imports come from China, and the rest come from like Russia and other Asian countries. So America is like in the 1 to 2%. We're kind of the Switzerland. Like we're politically neutral, but I don't think we import stuff from Europe. I don't think so.
I don't know what they are. Peter mentioned it, but they sound good. I want Tim Tams.
Is there kind of cookie or something?
Yeah, they're kind
I'm
of
guessing.
They're out
Oh,
my Target store.
I've had Tim Tams.
Well, of course you've had them. Have your name on them.
Real quick.
I did.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
Randy.
Dave. That's okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Jesse, did anyone talk about Trump being in Malaysia? Not here. I saw a lot of stuff from Malaysia and a bunch of other people, and there's America got flamed in the comment section by everybody in Southeast Asia. Because Peter Hegseth also, I don't remember if it was Malaysia or Indonesia, but it was one of those two countries, and he was like encouraging people to like buy American weapons because of the Chinese threat, and then everyone, dude, China's cool with us. Like, what are you talking about?
You don't have to worry about that.
I don't think Malaysia would have kept him because they don't import oranges.
Yeah, they grow their own.
But didn't China steal a bunch of land from Mongolia? Didn't China take a bunch of Mongolia?
So, like, historically, yes.
But this, ago.
That was a long time ago. Mongolia is part of China right now. But part of the reason why we still have, like, Soviet-era style structures is because when Mongolia declared its independence, Russia, being Russia, liking its buffer states, like, helped liberate Mongolia. And so to this day, like, the Zizan Monument is it's near my house, and it's like a sacred place, basically. People go there. My wife is telling me, if you have a wish, you go there and you pray, and that wish comes true. There's also like statues in different parts of UB here where there are dedicated to like famous Russian generals who participated in that. And then now how it is China's like, basically China's being China and focusing inwardly and focused on soft power because geographically, if you look at Mongolia, it protects the heartland of China and Russia.
Yeah.
Right. So both China and Russia want Mongolia to kind of sit there because if either side starts moving in, that could be indicative of an invasion. Yeah. So either way, it's going to be like covered.
I think that the Trump administration is the Mormonism of American politics or world politics.
I would say it's the closest. I would say it's the closest, but also not. It's the closest to Mormonism, but it's not Mormonism in that Trump has always been like basically like a maverick. He's just doing his own thing, right? Nobody really knows what he's going to do. He's unpredictable.
Well, he doesn't know what he's going to do.
Well, exactly. And so like nobody knows what he's going to do. And so that's why, the market and other nations are kind of on edge because I mean, on the one hand, he could just be like, yes, Malaysia is the greatest country on the planet and we should invest $1 trillion. Exactly. Like Trump could be like, we'll invest $1 trillion in Malaysia and everyone's on board with it. And Malaysia makes a ton of money. On the other hand, he could be like, you know what? I don't like Malaysia. I'm going to charge 100% in tariffs.
Wait, you guys don't think that he has a plan?
Concept of a plan.
Okay,
concept of a plan.
Well, he has a plan to enrich himself. That's his plan. But.
This is my personal opinion. I believe he believes he has a plan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think he thinks he has a plan. Whether or not that plan is actually a plan, that's another story.
I mean, he obviously has a plan.
He's taking food out of the mouths of elderly, needy people.
It's ridiculous.
And building a $300 million fucking ballroom.
Yeah. So
wait, are you talking about the president of the nation or of the church?
Both.
Oh, well, I know it's easy to confuse those two, but of the nation.
The fatter one.
I thought
here's the interesting thing about the ballroom from the political angle, and this is, we can actually tie this back to the topic of like Mormons and profit, is that Mormons build temples not just for money purposes, but as a form of soft power, right? It shows the world that we are a legitimate thing and we are powerful. And Trump's ballroom and all of its billionaire donors, like the private donors, is actually an interesting play because the world sees it. The world sees the White House very differently than Americans do. As Americans, we see it as like the people's house, right? But outside of the world, the White House is the seat of American power.
Exactly.
And with him renovating it and making an elaborate ballroom where dignitaries of other countries will go to and want to go to, that is a form of soft power. Part of the reason why America is considered stagnant is because a lot of people look at countries or look at from other countries, look at America and say, your White House is bland. You look at the Indian Parliament; they're renovating. They have areas made of solid gold. Why aren't you, the most powerful nation, renovating and maintaining your infrastructure? Right?
I looked up your solid gold building that you told us about, the solid gold temple.
Yeah, the solid gold temple.
Oh my gosh. The value attached to that is unimaginable.
It's in the trillions because one room is $1 trillion US. That's not including the other rooms. That's not including the building. That's not including the land. It's trillions. It's trillions. So as much as Mormons want to claim that they're the wealthiest religion, sorry, we as Hindus have you beat because we build massive statues and we make them of gold.
Well, maybe land rich and investment rich, not actual gold rich.
Well, I'm talking about, like, when I say rich, I talk about like financial dollars. Like, how many dollars do Hindus have compared to how many dollars do Mormons have? And that factors in everything like real estate, gold, temples, all the values.
Is there one main Hindu group? Aren't there tons of little groups in Hinduism?
There's I mean, I wouldn't say there's one big one. There's like 5 major denominations.
So that's what probably keeps them down, or Mormonism's all like one thing.
Yeah, Mormonism is one thing, but I mean, if you were to look at like actual financial worth, that one building that Randy looked up, Mormons don't even come close to that one building. And we've got 4 that I know of. There's 3 other ones. So we've got 4 of those temples I'm personally aware of.
It's kind of depressing they are doing that in India when there's so much poverty.
Not really. Yeah, it actually fits.
Heading back to the money making of the church, I know that we don't have a ton of time, but Gene and Tim and I talked about reshowing the video of the Mormon Church's investment into arms and war. Are you guys good to play that?
Play it.
Okay. And let me just give credit to Megan Hayes of Generally Unquotable, the Mormon News Update. She is such a valuable source of information.
Yes,
I just can't get enough of her reporting.
Every morning. I listen to her every morning.
I think I'm probably going to turn the sound on just in case you guys might want to hear it, because not everyone reads lips as well as I'm thinking.
A child. No.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, we're ready to roll. I wish I was smooth at this.
Let's listen to a short clip from the Religion Business on Instagram and discuss.
There are always winners and losers in war. But guess who wins in wartime? The LDS Church.
You heard that right. The LDS, or Mormon Church.
Ensign Peak Advisors, an auxiliary of the LDS Church, is a for-profit investment fund registered as a church.
The insidious genius surrounding Ensign Peak Advisors is that it is a legally distinct nonprofit investment manager and an integrated auxiliary of the LDS Church. Its genius lies in its tax-exempt status under Section 501c3, allowing the massive estimated $100+ billion portfolio to accumulate and reinvest 100% of its investment earnings tax-free.
It owns major shares in publicly traded defense companies. Here's 3 of several companies that Ensign
wasn't making any noise
in the U.S. defense industry. These figures come straight from the SEC. Let's go with Boeing, $120 million. Lockheed Martin, approximately $35 million. BWX Technologies, approximately $54 million. BWX plays a significant role in the nuclear weapons space.
Is this really what Jesus would do? The Mormon Church does claim to be Jesus's one true church on the earth, the only one led by him with prophets who still communicate with God.
In regards to U.S. foreign military sales, the U.S. government gives foreign aid via our tax dollars. Then that foreign aid goes to specific countries. Then those countries turn around and have to buy U.S.-made weapons from the above companies. Taxpayers have funded $8 billion in weapon sales for Israel and Ukraine this year alone, both of which are currently at war. Ensign Peak, registered as a church, does not pay taxes on these for-profit vehicles. How this works is you, as a taxpayer, fund wars across the globe while accumulating a massive deficit passed on to our children via billions of dollars annually in aid to buy these weapon systems from some of these companies the LDS Church is currently invested in. The big systems banks also make a lot of money in this dark web on multiple fronts during times of war. Let's take a look at how this feedback loop works. Number 1, Congress approves defense spending. Number 2, the Treasury then borrows. Then Fed and private banks buy that debt. Then the interest is paid by you, the taxpayer. Number 3, defense contractors deliver these weapons, then they get paid, and they reinvest or distribute the dividends. Number 4, markets rise, banks and investors profit, and then the cycle just repeats itself.
Meanwhile, here's what David Bednar claims the Mormon Church is using its money for.
We have 4 overarching responsibilities. The mission of the church is to help people learn about and live the teachings of Jesus Christ, to share that message with the world, to strengthen and unite families, and to care for the poor and the needy.
Seems he forgot to mention investing in companies that profit off of war.
A real-world example of this feedback loop is after the 9/11 attacks in 2001, Lockheed Martin's market value rose significantly. Specifically, its stock went from about $17.4 billion in market capitalization to more than $30 billion. Additionally, J.P. Morgan Chase & Company descended from Rockefeller's Chase Manhattan, which remains a core Federal Reserve member bank. Per fundamentalist Mormon and archivist Kevin Kraut's research, the Rockefellers have a long-standing relationship to the LDS Church. Chase also makes money off the defense industries through multiple credit facilities, such as Northrop Grumman's $3 billion revolving credit facility. In sum, the people that benefit big time financially from a wartime environment, large shareholders of defense companies such as an investment fund called Ensign Peak Advisors that happens to be registered as a church. Lobbyists, large banks, world leaders, and shareholders of the banking systems. And who are the losers? Innocent war victims, taxpayers and their households, donors and congregants. It doesn't take a Rhodes Scholar to understand the laws of supply and demand. Needs-based selling is the most effective form of sales. If consumers don't have a demand or need, then the dark systems will create one through fear.
I doubt that there are many active Mormons who know their tithing dollars are funding conflicts.
So let this sink in. A church that professes Christ and from the pulpit encourages us to love one another and to help the least of these, all while openly speaking out against war, makes a ton of money off of global war and conflict.
I've been to Ukraine and Russia many times. I love those lands, the people and their languages. I weep and pray for all who are affected by this conflict. As a church, we're doing all we can to help those who are suffering and struggling to survive. We invite everyone to continue to fast and pray for all the people being hurt by this calamity. Any war is a horrifying violation of everything the Lord Jesus Christ stands for and teaches.
The byproduct of those wars, innocent bloodshed. So, can we call those LDS church investments blood money? It's just a simple question I have.
Please tell me your thoughts in the comments. And last up today, let's finish with.
And then let's go to what the apostle just said. Gerard Cazet. The church is not a business or even a humanitarian organization. Its purpose is to accomplish the gospel work. So tell me, how does investing in war accomplish the gospel work? I guess it brings Armageddon.
I mean, Mormonism, I would agree, because Mormonism does have that aspect.
They're an American religion. So
I mean, it's like it's ushering in it's like speeding up Christ's return. It's speeding up Christ's return. That's kind of in the Mormon practice, right? So
Yep. Sad. Very sad.
But that's a history of Christianity from the get-go. So I mean, we have to call it out, but we also can't, like, Christianity in of itself, which Mormonism ripped off of, is not any different. So we're losing people. But
no.
Christianity isn't that different. Yeah, Teresa, that is kind of the excuse that's given, because I heard in my ward, especially, even when I joined in 2020, that when the tribulation happens before Christ's return, people will run to the temple, because the temples will be the only thing that's stable.
Safe spaces.
And that's safe and stable. So people will naturally want to run to the temples. Unless you're in China or here in Mongolia or Russia or any other part of the world that doesn't have a temple, then you're just kind of screwed.
But that's why they're building a temple that will be within, 5 miles of members, right?
Allegedly.
Every home a temple. Why don't they just do that?
Every home a temple. But wait, aren't you supposed to make the ground you stand on holy ground?
Yeah, your body's a temple. Why do you need to go to the temple?
Yeah, your body. Yeah, exactly. Well, there was that senator from, Oregon or somewhere, who back in that leaked video voted for the war in Iraq so that it would hasten the work of the church to get to the Muslim countries. That leaked video.
That failed horrendously.
There's no Muslim on earth would become Mormon. Really, it's like ridiculous.
Oh, come on, Trevor, have some faith. He did.
Like
rather than serving his people, he voted to go to war.
They just announced a temple to be built in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is 30 minutes from me. Yeah.
It's like
it was in the news today.
Well, they have to have at least 20 in Idaho, I bet.
I don't know, but there can't be that many more. I mean, hello, we've got a temple here in Spokane. What do we need one in Coeur d'Alene for? We don't have that many Mormons.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to staff them?
No one must be empty.
Maybe they'll get the staff from the Coeur d'Alene Resort to come work the temple too.
Yeah.
Serving drinks and whatnot.
It was announced a year ago, but they've been planning it.
Oh, really?
Maybe that'll get canceled then if Dallas not wanting temples as much.
Yeah, they said they were, I think it said this morning that they were about to break ground.
So maybe we'll keep going with
Yay, yay.
Whoop-de-doo.
Well, they're still arguing here in Bakersfield about the temple. So,
is there one there?
They bought a lot. They bought a lot. Not yet.
That's why land is so expensive, because they sell it in a lots.
Yeah.
The city manager is LDS. He's the state president here.
Inevitably, people always invite me and Amanda to go do the open house, do the walkthrough of the new temple. They did here in Spokane. We have another one about 3 hours away. And so we went with friends. I'm no more. It's all the same boring shit.
When I go out, tell them signs and tokens. I will perform the ceremony for them. Well, I'm in the temple.
Oh, they're tourists.
Break away from the crowd and hop into the baptismal font.
You really want to know what goes on here? I will tell you the truth of what goes on here.
Start doing a satanic ceremony.
I do the signs and tokens. I do the
all the characters.
I do everything. I do raising my arm to the square and slitting my throat and tearing out my heart and cutting my bowels. I do it all in front of them.
You're lucky Olivia and Kip aren't listening.
Yeah. Well, then they say new name Noah again. So
they're chicken shit. They're chicken shit. They disappeared.
Yeah, of course.
They couldn't defend their faith. They wouldn't come on.
No Mormons do that anymore. Like all Mormons have given up, like debating like that. You know,
there's nothing to defend anymore.
We have a viewer that says the guy that runs Ensign Peak is one of the greatest money managers ever live. He would be making billions in private practice. Now, he might be making a lot of money in private practice, but my understanding is that Ensign Peak hasn't done as well as the Dow or
yes, Gene.
S&P
He's not very good. His name is Clark.
Yeah, and I mean on top of that too, the guy that runs Ensign Peak doesn't necessarily manage the money themselves. He manages the people that manage the money, and there's
he has his own private deal too. That guy has his own private fund too. So if he's so great, then he would be a billionaire because he has his own fund.
Say his name, Trevor.
Clark. His last name's Clark. I can't remember his first name. But he's a money manager. He's the one. I think he's the one who let it slip that they didn't want to tell people about the money because then people would stop paying their tithing. He's the one who admitted that.
Yeah, that guy.
He let the Clark out of the bag.
Yeah.
Of Susan?
What?
Is that a Susan?
No.
Roger Clark.
Roger Clark. See? I was right. May the Lord.
Jules, are you telling me there's a temple in Tijuana now? Wow.
Huh.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Tijuana doesn't surprise me.
I remember driving all the way down to the San Diego temple so we could go through it with our friends and show them the temple. Oh, man. That was a long drive.
Yeah, Ensign Peak has got some pretty good FAs, some pretty good financial advisors, but there's a lot of them because I do know that they, just having worked in banking and finance, like one person can't manage all of that, right? Because that's a lot to manage, right? No financial institution does that. So you have literally hundreds, if not thousands, of financial advisors that are responsible for one specific portfolio that will have 2 or 3 stocks at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
their big benefit is because they have $1 billion coming in every year as profit. So if you have $1 billion to invest extra every year, pretty easy to get ahead, you know.
Well, I mean, what the church most likely does, and I would have to dig into the financials, but what my guess is that they do is just they capitalize off of compound interest.
Yeah, they just have so much money.
So they just keep reinvesting the billion, and then they get,
and then another billion's in, and another just snowballs. They're pretty conservative.
According to the Wall Street Journal in February of 2020, Roger Clark said that they make about 7% per year.
Yeah,
that's the gain. So I don't know what the
that's good. That's solid.
S&P gain is.
I think it's less than that. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, that I don't know off the top of my head.
I think some of those scams, like Bernie Madoff and stuff, they were saying that they could get like, was it only 10% a year? Maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was like 20% a year or something.
Sounds like my
the
401k. I made a ton of money COVID.
In 5 years, the S&P is up 90%. So that is substantially more than 7% per year.
Yeah.
Is that the same calculation? Doesn't seems too much.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because if you had that, I don't think people are making that much money, right? In the S&P, average Joe Schmo.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what their strategy is.
Yeah.
With their 401k or Roth IRA, and whether they manage it themselves, how well it's managed, who manages it for them. Because like during COVID, I had a 24% return because I went straight international growth stocks when I was working at Fargo. And I mean, I didn't have that much money because I'd only been, I rolled it over from a different company I worked at, but I manage it myself. Mm-hmm. And I was one of the people where I had nothing to do. I would constantly like micromanage everything and like do my own trades and stuff on the side. So,
wow, pretty cool. So you made that Mongolian money, huh? You made enough to go to Mongolia.
Yeah, I just rolled it over and just cashed out, and then here I am. And then, I mean, my wife's got her own business and her family owns several companies. So
very cool. Are you planning on having kids in Mongolia, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Mormonism and money for a little bit. What do we know about Mormonism and MLMs in the modern age?
Well, they love
There's one in every ward. There's at least one in every ward.
Yeah. There's like 20 like big ones in Utah that you see all the time.
Well, I mean, Tim even talked about it earlier. Like Brigham Young is the original MLM founder.
That was Megan.
That's like religion is kind of like that in general. A lot of them.
Well,
what is the
like
name?
Not like Mormonism, though. Not like Mormonism.
Yeah, Mormonism is more like that.
doTERRA.
I agree.
doTERRA.
doTERRA. Then like Unique, Unique. It's like a makeup thing.
Unique.
Then they got like new skin. They got like there's been news stories about like Utah is the MLM capital of America. Like there's tons.
Kangen water.
Yeah, that's a
huge one.
Yeah.
What's others? There's solar power companies that are MLMs too. My roommate used to work for one. I forget the name.
Is that
but basically,
Vivint? Is that one or no?
No, Vivint is a different
like a big
one.
Okay.
That's a big one. But yeah, there's there are solar power companies where they go to like they send like former missionaries to go and get wealthy people to get solar panels, and then if they exceed their quota, then that company helps them build their own company, and then they hire people and give a cut to the original company.
Yeah, pyramid scheme.
So solar panels are a big one as well. Young Living, yes, Young Living.
Young Living, that's a big one. Young Living.
All of our talk tonight is just to show that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is true, according to Timologist. I guess it's a study of Tim.
Tim is late to the game.
Very late to the game. Never.
So there's also something called affinity fraud, and Utah is so steeped in affinity fraud that the FBI has its headquarters of national affinity fraud in the
Well, there was CFS that Gary Sheese was part of. When Mark killed.
Yeah, Mark Hoffman connected.
When Mark accidentally killed his non-intended target, when they killed Kathy, they thought it might be connected to CFS because they had gone bankrupt. And they were,
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Someone in your ward, like, hey, invest this, and then just totally those people.
I should have done that when I was a member. I'm kind of kicking myself for not. Like, it sounds bad, but I have a background. I have literally a background in banking and finance, and I'm just sitting here listening to Tim talk about like Brigham Young and all of his companies started, and then we're talking about MLMs and Mormons investing in it. It's like, why didn't I just rip off a bunch of people? Like, I really should have done this.
Well, it's not too late, Diamond Dave. Get him on
company. Yeah, I could just have a public renunciation of the ex-mosphere, rejoin the church.
We're still there.
Got his nickname from elevating in the multi-level marketing sphere because you get, platinum distributors, diamond distributors.
Diamond Medallion Dave.
Yeah, Diamond Dave automatically goes into every MLM at the top.
I just show up with like ideas because I'm dabbling into like getting into jewelry design and fashion design, and so it's like I could definitely do that, like get people to invest in like a diamond company startup and like a modest fashion startup, and then link up with young members of the church who are interested in such things, and then help like them market, and then I take a percentage from like 5,000 of them.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I should have done that. I'm sad now.
Oh well,
should have
live and learn.
I know, right?
I had a TBM family member and all of her kids catch on to the fact in Arizona that if you purchase your home and get a mortgage on it, you can, how did they do it? They would live in it for a few months paying the mortgage, and then they'd stop. And it took a year for the process to pass to get them evicted out of there. So they got free rent for a year, and then they'd go to the next private seller and buy a home and go through that whole routine again. So every year, save a few months, they were living free by cheating the owners of the homes. And it was a mom and 5 daughters all doing it.
Wow. Like all together, or like each doing it themselves?
No, they were each doing their own homes.
Wow.
So they didn't pay. So they didn't pay a mortgage.
So
they claim to be very, very good examples of an LDS family.
Hey, Joe,
they weren't honest with their fellow men, were they?
They were not, and they were not paying their taxes to Caesar, and they weren't obeying the law of the land.
But they pay their tithing, though, right? That's all that matters.
Probably, and they didn't smoke, and they didn't drink coffee, so they're okay. They're okay.
They did what they were told to do.
I don't think that would work here. I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
They were into every MLM there was. They're the ones that got me started on my only MLM experience, which was Kangen water.
Kangen water.
Yeah, I've seen them. They have the big sign by the freeway in Utah.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Big Mormon thing.
Yeah, it's not surprising. It is what it is, though, I mean, the LDS Church wants to make money, and to be honest, they're pretty good at making money. So
yeah,
I mean, I just wish they would be honest about it and not do all like the religious crap, right? Like I respect like Apple more because I mean, they use child slave labor and nobody cares.
They're proud
because
of it.
they don't. Yeah, exactly. It's like, be honest about it, at least.
Yeah.
Those
That's
poor
right. The
kids
children
in-
we hire are providing food for their families.
That's right. They're digging lithium out of the mines, which is poisonous, could kill them, but we don't care because it makes the battery for your iPhone.
And they don't get onto talk shows saying that the LDS Church is not a wealthy organization.
Yeah,
You know,
temples that don't go anywhere usually outside of. Well, I can't say outside of the U.S. because they are building temples in Africa and in other parts. But here in Asia, there's been a lot of countries that have shot those down.
If the church isn't true, what good is a temple? How is that a good thing? If you're building temples.
Well, I mean, what is the temple? I mean, the temple. I mean, you do have to make money as a church, right? And I mean that's fine. That doesn't like if you're a church, especially a Christian church, and you're not taking people's money, I'm going to be more suspicious of you than I already am now. Right.
Well, there's a limit. Most churches, don't have billions of dollars, $300 billion, kind of.
If temples are built due to demand, then why? What
That's
happened
a
to
lie.
the?
That's a
What
lie.
happened to the temple in China? That got shot down. Here in Mongolia,
They're not built to demand. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no demand here in Mongolia at all. I've seen out of my time here, and who my family is, because they actually have access to like the census and things like that. I've seen 4 Mormons, 4, and they're missionaries. Right? The members that I've seen on the Facebook pages are not here in UB. They're out in the provinces, and their Facebook pages get very little engagement. Right?
Temples are $100 million billboards.
So
That's what
my
they are.
question is, if it's built to demand, why isn't the temple being here in UB, approximately 1.5 kilometers from where I live, where there are no Mormons? Why isn't the temple being built out the provinces where there's an actual like YSA ward? Why isn't
Well,
the temple
they are built to demand, but it's just the prophets demand.
Yeah,
the demands they make it, and then they
all right. I stand corrected. Yeah.
Now that Russell's not there, the demand has gone down, way down.
Yeah, way down.
So anyhow, thanks for watching. It's time to wrap up.
Wrap it up.
Like, subscribe, and share. Do all the things. 2025 is coming to a quick end. You can almost hear the screeching of the wheels. What is it? 2 weeks and 2 days is Thanksgiving.
Man.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
2 weeks and 2 days.
Well, you guys have fun with that because Thanksgiving and even Christmas are not registered holidays here.
No, not there.
That means it's extra celebration for us.
Yeah, we have the Lunar New Year, and I mean people do stuff for New Year's, but Christmas is not an actual holiday here.
Makes sense.
There you go.
Christmas was illegal in the United States.
Come hang out with us in the after show for a bit if you want. Throw the link up.
And
Gene.
Everybody go to Megan's channel and Randy's channel and my channel.
And my channel, if you like video
Dave's
games.
channel.
If you like video games, I do follow for.
Tim's channel.
Avoid my channel.